Folks, this is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. How's everybody doing tonight? Hi, William. How you doing? I've got in my thumbnail chain of command, matters of fact. I got on my screen abnormies. Welcome. I'm going to quit calling them normies. I'm gonna say abnormies. The stuff that's coming out, they keep believing that's abnormal. Also, I got let me count the ways. What am I talking about? Let me count the ways. I will get into that. I'm going to talk about Chris Miller when I talk about chain of command. I'm also going to talk about how there's also an issue and eyebrows going up about chain of command in the southern part of our hemisphere with the town called Brazil. Uh-oh. Greg, I got bad service. I guess if everybody's hearing me, we do the old Mike Penny 5x5. If everybody can hear me, that'd be nice. Anyway, hi Tennessee, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're hanging in there. I hope you're doing better. I know it was tough. I'm seeing some 5x5s. We've been thinking about you, buddy. Hi Lori, hi Sandy, hi Phil, hi Bubba. How you doing? Quilt. Sandy's giving me a 5x5, didn't she? Yeah. Hi, Charlotte. Lori, Alicia, Nikki B. How you doing, honey? I tried to get up 10 minutes earlier. Nikki, I know it's better for everybody to get up a little bit earlier, but it's hard to get everything together. Hi, Melinda. Looks like I'm gonna be doing an interview, follow-up interview with our friend Oakman. Maybe day after tomorrow. We'll see. Might do it tomorrow. I will put up a notice for sure. But we've been having some interesting little chit chats. And I was thinking, I re-listened to parts of my other broadcasts. I like that idea about DAVOS being the new Nuremberg location. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? When you see them all down there slithering around. One step at a time. That's right. One day at a time. There we go, Tennessee. I'm going to put that up so everybody gets the word from you. You're doing good. Oh, okay, Greg. I got it. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, did everybody listen to the Georgia tapes? I should put that in the title. I haven't gone over them too much, but the narratives, that's something else I would put in there. These narratives are thrown out there. Did y'all hear that Jamie Lee Curtis, that picture we were talking about, the person that gave her that picture, that was their own daughter in that picture. The one with the suitcase. It's morose. It's disgusting. And it's coming out more and more. So if I missed anybody in the chat, please forgive me. I'm going to sit here and see what we got to go on about. But I'm going to come back to chain of command. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but and then come back to it. As I said, there's some people who are paying attention in Brazil about how things usually work in the military as far as retirements, who gets the next spot. You know, they've got a pretty ingrained system. And here in the good old USA, we've got a system too that is also codified by statute and by executive order, and of course the military's own rules. And if you remember, when Mr. T, before he left the White House, he rearranged and added some new protocols to who can be replaced, who can't be replaced. Because, hey, if you got this civilian protocol where when you come in the White House, you got to deal with creepos like Alexander Vindman, whether you like it or not. You got to deal with Jen Psaki, whether you like it or not. Hey, in the military, guess what? There's people in positions, you got to deal with it, whether you like it or not. Chris Miller's one of them. And I would encourage people to take a look at Chris Miller's resume. You can look him up, Christopher Miller. All right. And I tell you, I was watching different videos and sometimes I just have to roll my eyes. And I might do a picture show on it when I do broadcast, because I see people, some of them fellow creators, they say, we're going to keep an eye on Trump because of this and because of that, insinuating that he's all part of an evil scheme. And I'm like, how do these people even sleep? And I'm not, I always say, look at everybody with a side eye, be as innocent as a lamb, as sharp as a serpent's tooth. But I'm not going to produce any content or throw out any theories that throw rocks at Mr. T, especially with some of the flimsy stuff they use. So I'll get into that at another time, but I'm going to stick with matters of fact. Matters of fact. And I said, let me count the ways. I've got to get I gotta get a banner for that, but I'm just gonna say, think about it. Think about it. We've said that this is years in the making, right? We can all pretty much be in agreement that if there's any hope for civilization, humanity, life on Earth for human beings to live in a civil, safe, prosperous way, that there has to be something going on. And it is very complicated and around the world. And it has to be something that has been in the works for a long time. Think about that. Trump didn't just win in 2016, walk in the White House, and everybody just got on their knees and bowed to him, and he did what he wanted and straightened everything out and knew exactly who was the worst ones, who needed to go to jail. No. How do you catch a dangerous animal? You trap it. You got to drag it out, draw it out. So, if you think about it that way, everybody's saying, well, Bill Barr's a traitor. Jeff Sessions, he's no good. Lindsey Graham, he's no good. On and on and on it goes. McCarthy, he's no good. So think about it. If you've got this, what we understand, and I fully believe, somebody's going to have to show me, count the ways with me, that it's not a well thought out plan. Okay? Program. I'll say a program, because people make fun of the word PLAN because it gets overused. Trust the plan, trust the plan. No, it's a program. Okay? That's going to alleviate me from derision. Okay? So, if you think about it, is Trump going to go in there, some real estate guy, been on TV, never been in politics, and he's going to walk into the White House and be surrounded by traitors and backstabbers? Yes, to some degree. You look at Alexander Vindman, you look at Maria Abramovich, you look at any number of people. But you think that key people, they're all against him? You think Trump's stupid? You think the military's stupid? And I'm not talking to you all. I'm talking to the general, whoever might tune into this broadcast. Any abnormies that might come in. Okay? If somebody doesn't know there's something going on, it's not normal to look at this. So let's just say we can start with not even go really far back. We'll just go back to Biden's inaugural. Verifiable matters of fact. Joe Biden was the first president to show up in a private plane. Joe Biden was the first president to have to pay for, I think it was 2,500 private security individuals, 2,500 of them. That raises eyebrows right there. He wasn't brought in Air Force One. Trump never conceded. Trump didn't attend. So that's a matter of historical fact. Another matter of historical fact that I brought up and touched lightly on a few times is the Secret Service. The Secret Service doesn't help investigate international money laundering. They don't help with that. They're in charge of that. That's their bailiwick on top of the number one purpose is to protect the president. So there may be an article you can dig up. I tried to look for it, but I know I read it in the past that there was a news article that the Secret Service had expanded its offices. One of them was an article that was put out, kind of like a hometown article that the sheriff's office or whatever local office in Castle Rock, Colorado, was proud to announce that they've got a liaison office for the express purpose of investigating money laundering. And that they have a joint office open with the Secret Service, and they listed a couple of busts they did in the millions of dollars. So that is a matter of fact. And we've got the Secret Service by law rubbing elbows with Mr. Biden. Is that why he showed up with his own security? I don't know. But he has to be dealing with them now. And a matter of fact is that the White House claimed there was no record of visitors going in and out of Delaware or Rehoboth Beach or anywhere like that. And then the Secret Service came out and said, oh, yes, there are. Every single person. That's a matter of fact. So if you're ever talking to normal people, they're just points to write down. And when you talk about international money laundering, talk about Rudy Giuliani. And I've said in the past, and it's a matter of fact, he helped write the RICO laws. That was a huge transformation of our legal codes. And it brought down the mafia, as we all know, and drug cartels. And what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with international criminality. So it's a matter of fact that Rudy Giuliani went to Ukraine. Rudy Giuliani said on his podcast, and he'll probably say it again, he's back up on YouTube, that he tracked $900,000 through Luxembourg, through other countries, straight to the personal account of Joseph Robinette Biden. That's a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, we heard Joseph Robinette Biden say, if you don't fire the prosecutor, you're not going to get the $1 billion. And he bragged how they said, you're not the president. You can't make the decision. He said, call the president. I'm telling you, if you don't get rid of that prosecutor investigating, you don't get the money. And SOB, they fired him. Everybody's heard that. That's a matter of fact. And it has to do with criminality. So I'm just going down because I put in my comments, in my description, along with no foul language or keywords in the chats, I put abnormies welcome. Where does it go? I put it back up there. Abnormies welcome. Here you go. And I also put help me help you. Okay. Abnormies help me help you. So as I say, you know, pen and a piece of paper does wonders. You have somebody come up and is buying the line. I've got more I'm going to go over, but I'm just going to say the media narrative now. The stuff like with Jamie Lee Curtis, they don't even cover it. But either they don't cover it, or if they do, guess what? If you get that specific illness, that CVID, did you know that it could cause a stroke? That's the stories they're putting out now, because they can't, and we know it's ridiculous. So, but there are people that buy it. There are people that buy that stuff. The formerly known as normies. They're abnormies. So you got to be able to counter it, and you can't keep everything in your brain, and you can't keep it or pull out your phone and say, "Wait a minute, let me play Mountain Man for you," or what? Let me look in my my photos where I took a screenshot of an article. No, you write the stuff down. You write the stuff down, and you can tell people that many of the things I'm saying. Let me count the ways. Matters of fact. Trump corralled Epstein. That's a matter of fact. That man was running wild. He was doing what he wanted. He was doing it with the help and the assistance of the federal government, intelligence agencies. He was doing it with the help and assistance of J.P. Morgan. As a matter of fact. And then the prosecutor down in the islands decides to prosecute J.P. Morgan. Joe Biden goes down there on vacation when he's getting ready to sign the Inflation Reduction Act, and he has her fired. And J.P. Morgan's off the hook. His cohort, Miss Maxwell, like that meme I put up, she's the first one convicted of human trafficking when there's no list of who her clients were, who she was trafficking to. That's a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, Trump didn't just get Epstein. He caught them all. He said that a number of times. And for people to buy the narrative that Trump is some simpleton, some undistinguished, nasty human being, they better look at what he's done, not what people say about him. And I've been over that stuff, and I can go over it again. And that's why I say abnormies are welcome. I'll do a tennis match, verbal tennis match back and forth with them. If they're, really want to make a point and I can make a counterpoint, or if they have a question. Hi, Georgia. Hi, Camperman. Hi, Karen. Hi, Donna. No, you haven't missed too much. You can always go back. Pappy Two Bears, how are you doing? Barb Richardson, how are you? Nice to meet you. So let's get down to this business. Everybody says this stuff come up with the former Vice President Mike Pence. He's got classified documents too. And Trump put out a message on Truth Social after it percolated for a while. Fox News reported it, CNN reported it. They're breathless. They didn't have time to really formulate how they can make Trump look bad. But that's their goal. how they can help Biden and make Trump look bad. So they're losing that psychological battle. So Trump puts the message out and says, Pence has never done anything, this is paraphrasing, intentionally wrong in his life. Leave him alone. But what's curious about that thing with these documents, I'm wondering if there's not a common thread. What those documents contain. A shared theme. Or if some of them are the same. The same documents. And as I discussed, for Obama to say about Biden, well, it's okay, I declassified them, he would strengthen Trump's claim because he would hide under the same umbrella. And he also would open up whatever documents Biden was squirreling away to Freedom of Information Act. So it's not going to stop here, because who else do we have? Clinton as president, Bush Jr. as president, Obama as president. What other documents are going to show up? And then on top of that, you have their VPs. Al Gore, he came out of the woodwork to be down there at Davos, blathering his nonsense about the earth has a fever and boiling seas. His garbage is going to come out. And who's Obama's VP? Biden. So we're finding out about a lot of them. And Cheney, that's going to be coming out. Because, as Biden said, when they give me, the military hands me classified stuff, I look at it and I hand it back to the military. And they lock it away in a secure place. Like the military is just going to say, oh, here's some highly classified documents. Let me give them to you, Mr. Politically appointed civilian, and you bring them back whenever you want. The military doesn't work that way. They will quietly watch, okay, who's keeping what? And where are they putting it? Now, of course, it was something that would greatly threaten our security that they couldn't counter. They wouldn't allow that to happen. But if it's documents much like is in that executive order, that they can't be classified simply to prevent embarrassment to a person or an institution, or they can't be classified simply to conceal misconduct, that kind of stuff, they'll let them, okay, you think you squirreled it away? We'll just keep playing this thing out, because this has been going on way before 2016. And from what I understand and what the 17th letter said, the start was JFK Jr. That was the start of this particular program or operation, however you want to put it. So with Pence, we have to keep in mind, I'm knocking stuff over here. We have to keep in mind that Pence was vulnerable just as much as anybody else. If he didn't play a little bit of a dummy card, they've been digging up stuff on him to impeach him. A lot of them wouldn't have trusted him. I'm sure people have confided in him, from the rhinos, from the cartel. That's what I'm calling the DS from now on. They're all part of a cartel. And as I said, if Pence would have sent everything back to the states, it would have thrown this country in turmoil, and it would have permanently divided this country. Permanently. There would have been violence. Who knows what would have happened, but it would not have been a peaceable situation. And all the cheaters, all the troublemakers would have wiggled right back into the woodwork until that storm passed. And so, okay, yay, we went through all this hellfire and brimstone, didn't catch 2/3 of the real crooks. And we got Trump back in, but they're still sniping him. They're still after him. No, that would not have been a good play to have Pence send it back. And I want to remind you, since I brought up Chris Miller, and that ties back in the chain of command in the military. Chris Miller had a lot of control. Chris Miller stopped the CIA from using special ops, prohibited. Do you think that's maybe why the CIA chief himself went down to Brazil after the election? Couldn't send some sneaky special ops down. They had to send their top string, like I've been saying. They're drawing them out of the woodwork. Chris Miller praised Pence. Okay. When January 20th was approaching. I'll get a copy of that video if I can find it, where he said, I want to thank the vice president for assisting in the greatest military operation in world history. Okay? What does that mean? That's where I got to put up my think about it. My think about it banner. What does that mean? The greatest military operation? Well, that can't just be like when Reagan ordered a invasion of Grenada. It can't be Desert Storm. That wasn't the greatest military operation. But he praised Pence after everything was over with. Everything was over with. The election, J6, everything. Chris Miller was in charge in the military. The chain of command had been changed where he couldn't be removed. And go ahead and look up his bona fides and look up his resume. So when you see when Pence is what I consider to be activated, he comes in when there's all this brouhaha about classified documents. And like Trump said, they brought it on themselves when they raided my house. They brought it on themselves. Somebody put up a good post that said, Democrats get searched. Republicans get raided. So this is all part of the Great Awakening. As I said last night, another part of it is us awakening to the fact that we got to keep an eye on who's dealing with our money, starting at the local level. Starting at the local level. I'll tell a story in another broadcast about somebody who moved in from out of town into a little town and noticed something funny with the books. And the local chieftains, little council members, town council, little board of supervisor members on the county level, all dismissed her. Articles in the paper about, that she's not from around here or whatever. A couple of months go by, she doesn't give up. Very polite, very nice. They end up finding $21 million, okay, in one little podunk town, one little podunk county. Gone. And one of the primaries that got 10 million of it was of Asian, A-S-I-N, that's another word I got to watch, descent. You figure if there's an operation from a foreign power to go in and weaken the country economically if they can go into these little towns and counties and get business loans and then disappear with the money, that they're not going to do it? And when you've got immigration laws where somebody in Pumpkinville that's got a budget, they get as I discussed the other night, so many millions from the federal government grant money or a mandate to do certain things, and you got these yuckabucks running your town and county, and they find themselves with all this grant money for economic development. Here he comes, a businessman. I want to start a technology company in your county. Oh, okay. How much you need? 10 million. Okay, here it is. Okay. Where'd he go? I don't know. Who was he? I don't know. He had some kind of papers for a visa or so. I don't know. Believe me, that's how it works. Is it going on in your county? Is your tax bill for your house going to be 25, 30% higher because of a scam like that? And if that doesn't weaken a country economically, you're striking right at the heartland. And what about these little political yuckabucks that cover it up because they don't want to get in trouble? They don't want to get exposed as they're stupid. They don't want to get out of their little position of power. They don't realize they're part of the cartel. They're part of the DS. How'd they get suckered into it? Greed. How do you keep them in there? Fear. They're greedy for power. They get their nephew a job. Well, we don't have a job for him. Well, go ahead and create one. We got some money in the budget for the who does the horticulture, takes care of the plants in the median along the road. We got a budget for that, right? Yeah. We'll raise it to about $49,995 and put my nephew in. Hey, there's 21 million bucks missing. Who said that, liar? But that's how it goes. Called dirty politics. It's all dirty. So anyway, she ended up leaving that little town after she came in. She did what she needed to do, but after that, she puked her out so bad she moved somewhere else. But she wasn't anybody operative or anybody. She was just somebody that could see 2 and 2 didn't equal 4 in that particular area. How many more are there like that? But anyway, I went off on a tangent. I'm talking about thinking about it. Think about this operation, as Chris Miller said, the largest military operation in human history, that they're going to recruit somebody like Donald Trump, or if it wasn't Donald Trump, they could pick somebody else. I'm sure they had a backup person. Might have been Elon Musk. Okay? Might have been somebody we've never heard of. But anyway, they're gonna send him in, and then they're gonna have him exposed to people that are working against him in key positions like Bill Barr. I don't think so. Sessions, I don't think so. He's not going to have anybody on his side, is he? He's going to be White House all by himself, getting threatened with impeachment, getting threatened with arrest. And all these people are going to be black hats, right? No. That's why I put in there, last part, I put in my thumbnails, nice hat. Nice hat. I look at Jeff Sessions, I say, nice hat. Jeff Sessions had to worry about getting impeached too. Guess what? He was approached by Rod Rosenstein to recuse himself. They were intimating that he was going to be in some kind of legal trouble if he didn't recuse himself from the attack plan on Donald Trump. So, what's he do? Flies under the radar. A little show back and forth. Trump saying, "You're no good, Sessions." And Sessions said, "I'm doing my best. And I'm going after these drug heads." Yeah, well, meanwhile, he puts out the he puts the inspector general out on them all out of Utah with 400 agents. That's under the radar. Then the inspector general comes out with when I put a picture of it up many times, and I'll do it again. The Fox News thing where they had the part of one small part of the inspector general's report, the Clinton Foundation, and crimes against little ones in black and white on the screen, Fox News. So don't tell me that Jeff Sessions was bad. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Nix. Hi, Georgia. Did I say hi to you already, Georgia? I can't remember. But anyway. So Sessions, he's got a nice hat as far as I'm concerned. And who they put in? No, the military doesn't plan nothing out. They just said, "Oh gosh, Sessions, he screwed up and he's gone. And man, I hope Trump can do this. I hope they don't rough up Trump too bad." That's how our military operates. No, I don't think so. Bill Barr comes in. What does he got to worry about? The same as Sessions had to worry about, the same Pence has had to worry about, and the same thing they're doing to Trump: impeachment. They come out with their claws and their fangs. So what do? You make some side comments about Trump. I mean, he's such a bore. He's such a boorish person. Oh, he has little temper tantrums. I can't talk about it out loud. You know that in the deep the cartel bunch says, "Oh yeah." But then they fall for it. What does Bill Barr do? Bill Barr changes things. And what does he change? Has a moratorium lifted on the ultimate penalty, federal ultimate penalty. Now, the Biden administration has put a moratorium on it, but that can be lifted very quickly. So anyway, not only does he reinstate the federal ultimate punishment, he adds the methods: rope, pistole, gas chamber, electric chair, traditional things, traditional methods. And that's because, he's against Trump, right? And the military's stupid, right? They just let any deep state creep come in there and sit right next to Trump. I don't think so. McCarthy. Oh, he's a rhino. He's a rhino. Well, he may have been at one point. Because I'll deal with him the same way I'm going to tell you about Paul Ryan. I'll get when I get down my list. Because you know what I did? I wrote down on paper and I'm reading it. And I don't have to write out a lot of details because I know in my head when I see a name, McCarthy. I know in my head he met with Trump numerous times while Trump was president. I don't care what he said about him to the media or to members of the cartel. If he said, "Well, Trump's no good." Oh, then he met with Trump in secret at Mar-a-Lago after Trump left the White House multiple times. It's a matter of fact. This is my matter of fact list. Everything I've said backwards is provable. There's been articles on it. It can be researched and looked up and confirmed. I'm not talking flights of fancy. I'm not talking about getting people to think about everything under the sun except what's actually going on. That's what I'm about. McCarthy met with Trump in secret, in private, multiple times. Trump endorsed him. Trump got him in. Somebody on my list I got to talk right down because I didn't think about putting this on the list. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'll get to her in a minute. She's a new one that everybody's throwing rocks at. Let me write that down so I don't forget it, because I'm still going down this list. So, yeah, sure. The military's just going to let McCarthy do whatever. Nobody's going to sit down and have a talk with anybody before they meet with the president of the United States, the commander in chief, the person that is in charge of this operation that is worldwide, that we have one shot at. They're just going to let any creepy screwball go in there like Comey. They're going to let him. They had to send out, at the time, he was their big gun. When Trump was having dinner, right when he got elected, who did they send to go in there and try to scare Trump with that damn phony dossier? They had to send the Cardinal himself. The Cardinal, Comey. And Comey thought he was going to go in there and intimidate Trump. And he walked out shaking in his shoes. And he ended up getting escorted out. He didn't even get a chance to get in his car. And they opened his safe and they raided him. No one playing the game gets a pass. We know that. So you have to think about the people that this man is interacting with is going to be heavily monitored and very selective. Who's going to get close to him? Who's going to hear things? And they're going to hear what they want them to hear. And they're going to say, in many cases, what they want them to say. Because remember, those who resign or step down have submitted and will do as they're told. That brings me to that will bring me to Paul Ryan. But I want to talk about Lindsey Graham. He's another one people are talking about. Now, we're not dealing with saints. We know that there's 70, 80, 90% of them belong in jail. But deals are made. Deals are made all the time. Look at Sammy the Bull Guarano. And he's not even involved in the government. He wasn't involved in something that was threatening civilization. He was a mob hood from New York. How many people was he involved with? 19 of them that reached their expiration date, and he ended up in an assumed identity in Arizona. And he still would have remained free after dealing with 19 people and God knows how many other thefts, strong arm robberies. And he was living safe and free till he started dealing with ecstasy and bought himself 20 years. Now he's doing podcasts. So yeah, there's deals made all the time. I'm not saying any of these people are clean or knights in shining armor or nothing. I'm saying people make deals. Lindsey Graham. What did he do? He went to bat for Kavanaugh like nobody's ever gone to bat. He had to get that through. All right, run VS. You'd be that way. You got to go. Don't be putting all them, Nikki. I did put that in my description that no more than 3 emojis or Utizzle does something about it. Run VS, whether you know that or not. Not supposed to. Or did you say something? Okay, you're out of here, I'm sure. Anyway. So we get them every now and then. All right. So Lindsey Graham. We saw pictures of him with John McCain overseas, I'll say. elbow to elbow with the one that died in a tunnel like a dog. Remember that one? Al-Zawahiri, I think his name was. But anyway, he's come around. He's doing what he's told, I think. Nice hat, Lindsay. So, again, he's got to be careful what he says, too. Because, we're dealing with a dangerous animal, and they're not above anything, even the ultimate. So they got to be careful what they do and what they say. And I already went over what he said. He said he would have SHOT them in the head, the people of J6. And he was talking about the people who were actually destroying things. And I agree with him. But everybody thought he meant the grandmas they were taken to detention. Not necessarily. But these are all matters of fact. Now, McInerney, General McInerney, he's been out of spotlight for a while, but you Google his name, General McInerney, and you will see nothing but desultory garbage about him being crazy and blah, 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 on and on. But there was a YouTube video up where he was having a drink at a White House ceremony or gathering just before Trump went to Mar-a-Lago. And he was saying after J6, yeah, we got Nancy's laptop. We sent special forces in. We got her laptop. I saw that video 10, 15 times. General McInerney. You can look him up. He's real. He's got a history. He's distinguished. And he told his guests, stand there with a drink, saying, oh, she's frantic because we sent some guys in and got her laptop. That's all matters of fact in history. Louis Gohmert. I've never heard anything bad said about Louis Gohmert, but I know what Louis Gohmert said about something going on in Frankfurt, Germany. It's another word I can't say. It's the way it's spelled. SCYTL. Write it down. That's the name of a server. And don't put it in the chats. That's the name of a type of server. SCYTL. He brought that up. He brought up that we had special forces operating over there and that we lost some. That's a matter of fact. He stated that. It was reported in the news and it was shut up. But I think he was permitted to let that information out. You remember when Trump was just 3 weeks ago, he used the term bing, bing, bing. You know how he does that? Bing, bong, bing, bing. He said people put their VOT in, right, for Mr. T, and it goes off to other countries, bing, 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 and it comes back, and guess what? It says Joe. He just said that 3 weeks ago. It's a matter of fact. And you couple that with what Louis Gohmert said and what I saw footage of a raid. And look up the name. This is going to be a touchy name. You very rarely can you find a picture of her. Her first name is Gina. That's spelled with a G, okay, I-N-A. And the other, try to find a picture. You might find one official picture or two, maybe two. Second part is Haspil, might be double L. Okay. She was the head of the C.I.A. And she was supposedly in Germany at that time. Matter of fact, that she resigned. And nobody's seen hide nor hair of her. They might put out a little bit of something about her, throw people off. But no, they're not. The military's not just going to say, we solved this one puzzle in Frankfurt. We found these servers in Frankfurt. Okay, it's a wrap. No, they're not. They're going to say, what are you talking about, servers? What are you talking about? A raid. Oh, Gina, she's retired. She's living up in Kennebunkport or wherever. And they're going to keep on going with their operation. They're keep drawing them out of the woodwork. Yeah, she was, Kate. She was injured. What? Does anyone have Reds? Hey, what? WAT, nice to meet you. But I don't. I'm not a link monkey. I don't put links in. He's got. Well, his Hello America. What? That's the channel he's got up. That's Red's channel, and you can message him on one of his prior videos. Okay. And for $1.99, you can be part of the channel, a member, okay? And you can message him and stuff. Let me tell you, for $1.99, Red, who knows what Red will do? He'll definitely talk to you. I don't blame him. People help out his channel. Lovely lady 422. How you doing? And kicking birds back. Since then. So anyway, I'm like butter. I'm on a roll, but whoops. Since we're talking about how Red's got a little club, a little channel you can be a member of, I want to thank everybody who's supported me. Thanks, Aaron, Robin, Kirsten, Wanda, Sandy, Norman, Dory, Pamela, Nikki B, Cameraman kicked in a coffee. Since then, Matt. Cameraman kicked in 3 calls. What do I talk about? 3? Thank you, Cameraman. KNS cleanup. And I said Mac did enough. Killer Fuzz, somebody 1, somebody 2. Thank you all so much for helping the channel. I got a link in the description for anybody that wants to help an old man out with the channel. Because this stuff ain't easy, let me tell you that. Nobody's being aggravating today. Nikki took care of that one pretty quick, though. No, Allison Intel lands down since then, I heard. Hello America. That's the place to reach him at, but don't, be real careful with your comments. But like you can join for a month for, I don't know what it is. It's like $1.99 or something. And you can message him and stuff. Anyway, so Gomer came out. Nobody said nothing about it. They just let it die on the vine. Let me tell you about MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. What in the world? I'm trying to read that comment. I love you. Thank you, Watt. Appreciate that. Glad you like the show. Hello, America. That's the name of it. You got to scroll down till you find it. Because there's a lot of different close things, but you'll find it. I don't have the link for that, but it's pretty easy to find. But anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody's saying, oh, she's gone with Kevin McCarthy. She's having a fling with Kevin McCarthy. She left her husband. Well, you know what? I want to bring up somebody. And I don't know why sometimes I have a problem with her name. And maybe you all can help me. I might think of it real quick. She was in the Trump White House, and not Kayleigh McInerney, but the liberals used to make fun of her looks. I thought she was an attractive woman, but they used to, she has a husband who is a out and out liberal. I mean, a real stinker. And what is her name? She's blonde haired, and she comes on Fox News every now and then. She does look like she's fallen asleep a little bit. What is her name? Anyway, not Kelly. Kelly. It might be. What's her last name? But anyway, she's got a husband who's a nasty liberal, and I think he looks like a hobbit. And her daughter's mad at her husband's got her daughter beat Kellyanne Conway. Right. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Georgia. Everybody's getting it. Oh, Allison Intel Land is on now. I'll be darned. So he does. He told me he was locked out of that. But anyway, Kellyanne Conway's got this husband. I got to wrap it up. We got an hour coming up here, and I got a few other things I want to go over, but we'll talk about it another time. Kellyanne Conway is suffering with this person, I guess, because she takes her vows. You know, I don't know how long she's been married. I don't know how long Marjorie Taylor Greene's been married, and I don't know, how she was married, which church she was married in. But, not everybody's going to put up with the kind of crap that Kellyanne Conway's put up from her husband. She is definitely borne the cross. And in my book, there's a place in heaven for her. Okay? And that's her choice. However, she wants better or worse sickness and health and takes it to the core. Serious. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't know how long she's married or what her circumstances was, but apparently she wasn't putting up with her husband's stuff. Okay? So just because she got a divorce, not everybody's going to be like Kellyanne Conway. And you never know. There may be her husband might change and might thank her and realize what he's put her through. I don't know. But Marjorie Taylor Greene is MAGA to the bone, okay? And I'll get to some other stuff they said bad about her and stuff, but we're running out of time. But anyway, anybody, if you hit the like button, I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you know when I go live. And I will do my interview with our friend from Brazil. And I'll let you all know. And if you're subscribed, you'll get my community posts when I say I'm going to have that interview. And that is serious business now, folks. I mean, that young man's taking a chance. Okay? And we want to respect that. And he's warning us what could be happening to us. Okay? And I think this whole thing is tied into this big military operation. Brazil is a big piece of the puzzle, not just in the Western Hemisphere, but over in the East, because they're part of BRICS, okay? And I'll get into that. But anyway, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I got a link in the description if you want to support the channel. I thank you so much in advance, and you all have a great evening. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.